Double kill!
They'll take out FPZ. Both kills in that top lane. Grass really hurts, especially with the leech seed and the vacuum back. Hescute.
Oh,
One shot
Treant.
from dead, but Wilson. How he survives. Just a minuscule amount of health, and now Nature's Grass. He's slowed up. Good shards, keeps him away from the waist, but Hescute back into the trees, juking around, but
Ion Shell
the
will
Ion
burn
Shell
them.
did it.
Yeah. The overtime damage, they need to stay on top of them. Io is gonna go pretty much for the same item build we always see on carry Io. Getting that Soul Ring, getting that Common Dominator into Aghanim Scepter. Yeah, once they hit the level 3 on T1's off lane, 2 points in Ion Shell, 2 points in Leech Seed, they can stand and take a fight. But to go back to the talk, I like the way that they set up the lanes. Phoenix this time around will be position 4 because they understand it's a good Phoenix game. They have no real egg hitter, and if Phoenix gets items, like it just might be very difficult to actually deal with it. They have decent way of protecting the egg with the chains, with the Centaur Stomper, and the Tusk has the multiple ways of stunning people.
So as the game goes later and later,
Is under attack.
you're really gonna have to break through a bit of a lead here, which is normally what you do see with the Sand King lineup. Sand King do so well in lane, you can move around and maybe give you that 4K, 5K lead by about the 15-minute mark.
T1 needs to stay ahead with this type of a lineup.
Lane is missing.
Good already done on a Bristleback, so he's going to be very hard to bring down. Already off to a good start, 3-0. He's getting all the last hits from this lane, which is also very important. And we can see on the mid lane, like Sanking dominating. No surprise there, one of the reasons why they decided to pick it.
I guess just the question is how hard is it?
Radiant's
Feels like it's always off a
is
cliff,
under
but we'll
attack.
see. I'm interested to see if Carl goes for Travel after the Blink Dagger, if he keeps it pretty standard. Want to go for something else?
I think Spirit Vessel is a great idea this time around. The Phoenix heal, the Io heals, something that is great. They don't have way of dispelling it, so that's also a very good thing. Because other heroes like Lion does not want to build it. The Drain Protector also not the hero that wants to buy it.
You have done a great
Might lose
service.
your bottom, but made biggest of moves here in his bottom. So just in the jungle right now, trying to get to that level 6. Wand and Ags all queued up for him. And if we're making moves, he's very sitting on a Cuckoo. They look over at Zap for the damage of the tag. He's doing quite a bit, but they got back into the Iron Shell.
You would all have.
Wall is stay alive, and his Cube will walk
Barely
away as he
survives.
just walks out of the Nature's Grass.
Once they brought that Centaur, the extra unit that deals damage, the procs attack team, it's enough. Like if they don't have that Centaur, if they don't have
Radiant's
Helm's
middle
Dominator,
tower is under
Tusk is
attack.
dead, they get a kill. So they need to be a bit more careful.
Double
Cuckoo,
damage.
I've seen this build on the Dark Series, double null, sometimes even triple null, which he decided to go for this time around.
And Epicenter for the Burrow Strike. Actually out onto the Phoenix, not the Ember Spirit. They'll get the kill on a hide. Go after Whitemon and they lose one for it. It's the first Epicenter used in this game, so Carl gets something out of it. He's still sitting second on the net worth, and you know he's got a pretty free lane. He's sitting second on the net worth. That just shows how well the game 23's have.
23 having a really good time. They need to bring Tusk, Centaur plus a Phoenix to be able to kill him, even though he's sitting at half HP, used the shovel once, and now has a possessed mass, so even more strength coming up from it.
Snowball Burrow Strike, but Carl not looking like he's going to survive despite the fact that his stun was landed by Whitemon. He gets credit for the kill on a Carl.
Radiant's
Slowed
top
down the
tower
Blink
is
Dagger,
on
which
the
he was
rocks.
very close.
Dire's bottom tower is about to flounder.
He gets chased for a moment. He's got the Phoenix right here, so we'll see if we really want to commit how far. Tower might not
He's
be
not
advised.
as tanky as he thinks. No, it's a level 2 Bristleback. It's not a Vanguard, it's Hood, so you don't have that damage block from the towers. Needs to be a bit more careful. And let's see. Yeah, they kill the Observer Board. There is a smoke on Tusk. Level 3
Radiant's
tag
middle
team.
tower
It's
is
more than
under
enough
attack.
to kill the Bristleback. So yeah, I forgot that they have Phoenix. Because I talked about Ember Spirit being able to build a Spirit Vessel if they see it from time to time. You know, sometimes even Void Spirits, but yeah, they have position for Phoenix, so it's going to be
middle
his job to
tower
get
is
that
under
Spirit Vessel.
attack.
And he's going to try and get that Spirit Vessel. He's been doing a good job of putting out some
Radiant's
stacks.
bottom tower is
There's the
under
Blink
attack.
Dagger now for Carl. But towards top,
Radiant's
they don't know
bottom
that Blue's
tower
coming up here.
faces a
They're snowed
stiff
up. Like
wind.
you said, tag team level 3 should be enough to get the kill here on 23, especially now he's sitting under half health on tower. They've got the Stampede. They're going to watch Reload King trying to get over here. The TP reactions from T1 just aren't going to be in time. Cuckoo's now up in this lane. That might be a bit of a problem. Zephyr is quite lucky. They can't get anything themselves. Epicenter Blue Strike.
But the reload, 1 second!
Oh my god! But Dream Cell just survives. That was almost both of them. They've got the Hex, and they should be able to get the damage out on the Kesku with the Hurdle Strike available. Running within the trees if they can, and now they've got the Finger. So Kesku will fall dead on the side of Boom. All they get is 23.
Yeah, they trade 2 heroes. If they manage to get the Wisp, that would be pretty big. They need to start putting a lot more pressure with the Bristleback. You know, he's the hero that can snowball, he can play in your face. I also want to see Treant Protector putting a point in living armor. Like that one, if he had that 1 point, let's say level 5, he would use it on his Bristleback, potentially save him there. He would have more HP, maybe they wouldn't go for that kill. It's something that can make the difference.
Dyer's bottom
So
tower
close
won't
to getting-
last long.
Both the Ember and the Eye of time. That would have been pretty devastating.
Yeah, you don't have to blow in your microphone just because you get excited about getting a double kill, but it's
Gotta
okay.
control my breathing, I'm sorry. Get very excited.
Dyer's bottom
Yes, you getting
tower
caught.
is about to flounder.
They got the control and get the kill on the kid. And on top of that, they have found these stacks. They're gonna try and steal them.
Now they're gonna steal them.
It's not really a
Dyer's
try,
top
it's a
tower
is.
needs some Radiant using echolocation.
Nothing they can do about it. Like, they know they're there. Let's see if they can try to get a pick off. Phoenix is level 7, 3 points in the sun range.
The Ember slight. Trying to survive, they've used the Stampede. They're trying to steal the stacks and they might pay for it. They end up losing Kuki. This is good. And Supernova. Zephyr, Whitemon, dead on the side of T1. Hyde with the double kill.
Like, this is a fight that B1 can't afford to lose. Their lineup does not have a late game. Also, like, making illusion of IO is not that great compared to some like Agi. Carry heroes, Bristleback, he will fall off. Especially if they keep diving like that. I love the build on Phoenix this time around. You know, he's not maxing out the Fire Spirits. He has 3 points in the Sun Ray, just wants to melt this Bristleback and not allow him to be as tanky.
Hyde's playing that hero, that's eliminates it for 3 points. Melts with the Sunray. Yeah, I like the build here from Hyde, especially because he's been taking a lot of pressure. He's really utilized himself.
And it was a great
Perfectly.
Supernova. Like,
The spot was
middle
perfect.
tower can't handle
It
this
honestly
damage.
just...
I think he wanted to go like on the hill, on the high ground, but didn't happen. Still a good place to place it. They have a way of blocking them down if they try to go. Not a single hero on their side has a dax to be able to deal with you.
Any
Yeah.
port in a storm.
So you do have a large room for error. There are some games where you have to be like,
Dyer's top tower
pinpoint
is about
perfect
to
with where
take
you're
the
putting the
blood.
Supernova. Here, I think Hyde can kind of get away with a little bit more. But when they're in those kind of spots that are
under
impossible to hit,
Radiant's middle tower is
fight's
under
won
attack.
almost right there.
Yeah, same goes for Tombstone. If they don't have any vision, if you have something to lock them down, you know the fight is already over. Place a sentry, if you place a Tombstone, you're like, yeah, this fight's pretty much over. They have no way of revealing it. And we can see T1, trying to go for a bit more aggression, trying to find the kills right now. They understand this mid Sankey with a Blink Dagger. He wants to fight.
Radiant's courier just drowned in a
Still not that easy for them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Radiant's
Trying to
courier has
control
been killed.
the triangle here, though. It's going to be difficult to go after FBZ. Viscous names are being ported on to the Centaur. Sunray across the epicenter, but now the first spike comes through on a KSQ. They've got the wall down, look for the finger. They'll get the kill on KSQ. This is the egg. That's where he wanted it the last time. Question of whether or not they could keep him close, and really couldn't keep T1 too close. He goes through with the Sunray. He's just going to give up his life afterwards. It's surprising there from Hyde. Now they've caught Makoto. Those slides, he's not going to make it out of this.
Supernova, 10 out of 10. Sunray, 0.5 out of 10. No, he just kept going. I guess when Bristleback, when he already used the dive, he was out of the position, understands that he can't TP with all those stuns, so he just kept going.
I'll take your
A bit sloppy there from Boom. The idea was right, but the execution wasn't. It's a big problem. You watch it as the fight happens once again. Makoto over to the side, or Spike lands on the KSQ.
They need Centaur in this fight. They need Centaur to be able to stun people, but he's already sitting at half HP just to be able to control them while Supernova is dealing damage. Boom's lineup is very good at going in and out, resetting with Io's heal, with the snowball saves, Stampede, Sunray. So they need to get in and out, while T1's lineup is, we're gonna go in, we're gonna use our combo, burst people down with the finger, and they want to click in and out. But I want to see if they are gonna be able to do it.
Radiant fortified their structures. Attack
Radiant's
the
bottom tower
heroes.
faces a stiff
No,
wind.
it still feels like they're
Dire's
comfortable,
middle
even though
tower
that
is
fight
under
didn't go
attack.
too well for them. Picking up the Ags on the
Radiant's
IO.
bottom tower has fallen.
You should
Dire's
comfortable
middle
getting
tower
the fight.
is
You have
drowning.
Supernova. I wonder how they're going to try and approach this next mid as they're trying to get tier 1 over mid. All committed. First dive away, 23 from Lonnie. Maybe trying to get a early strike. We're getting too with that stuff, but the Sunray, now the Walrus punch. It might be a little bit too far. Change is here as well. Another two-man stun. Hyde killed off by FBZ. He's getting low, and Hyde moves to buy back.
Killing spree.
All the way
Double
through the
kill.
triangle to get the kill on FBZ. T1, the rest of the team is leaving. That buyback from Hyde and not getting anything from it. Everyone is
Feels
really
super
bad.
low on T1. Like, they bought back, Phoenix didn't manage to get the egg off, they didn't have mana, had some magic one charges, but yeah, got bursted down. Surprised Boom wants to play aggressive right now. They're really not in a rush. All they need to do is protect the Roshan, not necessarily engage into a team fight. Like, get that Blink Dagger on a Centaur. Also a bit surprised he decided to finish off the Phase Boots. Casual Chainmail is fine to be able to tank up some more damage from the Coil Spray and the Viscous Nasal Goo. They have a lot of minus armor coming out from that. But yeah, they need someone to initiate, so he needs to farm for another 2-3 minutes to be able to have a Blink Dagger. MP.
The epicenter on the KSQ. He's in the Nature's Grasp. Just snowball to extend the inevitable.
Fox is pleased.
Just to get away with the HC placed on him too. So Blink Dagger now for her, which sets up Blink Overgrowth. I'm interested to see how they can utilize that. Lockdown T1 is certainly not.
Vacuum is going to be much easier to execute. Now they have another way of comboing it back into Overgrowth, keep them in the place. And like, it's all about these small things. Like, Task had 10 magic one charges there when he was dying. Did not want to pop it. Understands I'm in position 5. I'm dead. He sees a lion. No point of using it, so it's just gonna keep it for the next fight.
K lead, and this is where we said T1 heat. Competitive.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Sanj, who's CKD here, right? So we'll try to as quickly as he can for his team.
Casual Sange is just one of the best items in the current meta. Besides Solar Crest, like these are pretty much the best items because it gives you so much. Like for the strength heroes, gives you damage, gives you status resistance, heal, amplification.
Dire's middle tower has been denied. Dire's top
He's
tower is
gone
about to take the
the typical
blood.
build we've seen from these Sand Kings: Blink Dagger, Boots of Travel.
And then a defensive item, either a Yule Scepter or a
Is under
BKB.
attack.
Now going into Aghanim Scepter. I know you like that one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Ags. I think, especially yesterday, we saw Yules into BKB for the Sand Kings.
Dire's
Never really
bottom
felt like
tower is under
there
attack.
was anything more we were going to see from the Sand King. But now that he's going Ags, I definitely like that a little bit more. Almost lands the Burrow Strike on FBZ. He was searching inside the trees.
Dire have the spyglass at hand.
BD on Bristle, they don't have enough. I don't think they take this fight. Let's see if they decide to do so. First Aegis doesn't really matter that much. I think they have the tools to deal with the rest of the team, and they can leave Bristle back for the later stages, because he's going to be the one picking it up. You do not want to give Aegis to Sankey. It doesn't make much sense. They're scouting things out.
Roche is sitting pretty low. Center getting charged up. Thinking about it. Carl. Ability to stop that. So now let's see if Boom can try and defend against this Roche. Roche trying to help out. First hit dash on the 23. Just about 1,000 health. Carl keeps slamming the first tail down, thinking about going in with the epicenter, but Boom is pretty split up. What their focus needs to be on, probably Hyde. Gets a good Supernova off. That could be a very big difference maker. There it is. If you're coming in with Supernova, they're going to 23 with Hyde. They get the kill on 23. They look over the rest. Supernova fine. They get the kill there. Carl, Overgrowth just not in time. Gun and Zephyr. He's gonna get chased, he's gonna get killed, and it'll eventually be a full team wipe here for Boom. They were waiting for their moment, and they found it.
It was just a Mexican standoff. Like both of these teams waiting, see who's gonna get the first move, and Boom, they decide to go for the big move. They go in, they're like, we're gonna use this Supernova, which was level 1 at that time, and try to zone him out while we're killing from Roshan. So Mikoto picks up the Aegis. Now working towards his BKB, Maelstrom already done.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See Mikoto's picture, it's just like, I know. Don't worry. But yeah, Supernova started off Snowball, everything on the 23. And the epicenter just feels a little bit too late. Carl gets stunned as he Burrow strikes in, then the Supernova goes off, they clean up.
Yeah, dude, they don't kill Supernova, especially now that it's level 2. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Possibly if it's just in a really bad spot. If you get caught in Icarus dive, possibly with a stun or overgrowth. Centaur going towards, working towards his next item after finishing the Blink Dagger, which seems to be the Lotus Orb. So great against all those stuns. Like you can pretty much win a fight with one reflected Impale, one reflected Burrow Strike.
They look to go here on T1. They'll find Pescu. Okay.
That's a position 5 task only. Like usually does inflate as 4. So not too much of a value lost there. He's also getting closer to his Blink Dagger. Right now just keeping the buyback. One item we didn't talk about is the Darkseer Aghanim Scepter, which gives you 2 charges on the Ion Shell. And yeah, gives a bit HP. It's a good item on the Darkseer. Most of the Darkseers actually rush it. Makes the team a bit more tanky. But this is the time for T1 to strike. Even though they know that Boom got the Aegis on their side, they should still try to seek for a fight, because their lineup is just gonna fall off.
Right. Radiant are scanning for enemies.
They can keep the pressure on, maybe get the Aegis out of their hands and take a winning fight.
Dire's bottom tower is
Have a
about
chance to win this game. And I know I'm
flounder.
saying still have a chance to win this game, and it's a 1K lead, but they're breaking down what we are seeing. You're gonna find Kiss heroes that are gonna fall off pretty bad. Here we go. You got the kill on a white on Supernova down again. 23's getting chased. They look over at Cuckoo. They get the kill on the Darkseer. They look over at this Bristle. Trying to finish him, trying to catch him. Swipe is there onto this Bristle. He's got the steering chains in a second. He won't be able to keep up.
T1 just doesn't have the game plan, I would say. Their plan right now is we group around the towers and force them into a fight because we know we'll lose this game in the late game.
Yeah, they understand the dynamics of understanding where
Dyer's
their
bottom
timings have
tower
to be.
is
And you can
under
see because they're
attack.
still putting the pressure on. I think some teams,
By pressure, if you mean losing multiple heroes, yeah, correct. That's a lot of pressure. Io bottom, Finger, not available.
the other heads, they have the lockdown. Green mana, BKB,
Just DP out.
He's got.
If they had a Finger, it's definitely a kill.
Yeah.
Also, the status resistance coming up from Sanj really helps out.
Stun and Super, they've got the snowball as well as the walrus, but they look over at White on the shards are off the mark, but it's not going to matter. They've got the their kill.
Another sunlight.
Carl just getting it. Strike, overgrowth, and it's on a 3. They're going to try and make this happen. They'll go after Hyde. He's going to have the Supernova. Good Carl. Done coming through. Carl will die. Lets them get SQ as well. However, they're going to lose 23, and
Because
the numbers that
Dyer's
T1 are
bottom
losing
tower won't last
are putting
long.
them out of this game quicker and quicker.
Boom, they lose
Dyer's
2
bottom tower
supports.
has
They
fallen.
win another big team fight. Treant Protector is the only survivor of that one. It's just I'm really worried about their damage output. Phoenix in that fight didn't have a single spell pretty much. Now that he gets a BKB, it's gonna be much easier for him to take the fight. I've seen there's a lot of stuff that can interrupt the sun ray, and this is where the most damage is going to come from.
Phoenix might feel untouchable. I think he might feel untouchable. And I don't know what T1 can do at this point. There's some things that like they're still doing right. This lockdown, it feels good from them. They just don't have anything to follow it up. They're not taking out these heroes. They're getting the lockdown. They're hitting these 4-man stuns. It's still not enough to win these engagements. They put the
Comforting
pressure on.
rule of
but
regeneration.
The pressure doesn't feel as heavy anymore.
The pressure is just not there. It's not enough damage. Like Bristleback, he kind of lost his momentum. Even though like he was having a good time, Carl,
to be sick.
Dream of Cell, getting that stun with the Centaur. They're gonna relocate bottom. Okay.
no need for that. It was still, you know, a kill. And it's one of those games that could potentially just end with no real fun. You know, they lose 2-3 heroes, they call the GG, they understand like we can't really fight them anymore. We had our momentum, which we needed to hit the timing, 15-20 minutes in, take that Roshan, siege with the
Dyer's
Bristleback,
top
just didn't
tower is
happen.
about to take the plunge.
Maybe that last fight comes around Roche. Little ways out.
What's this?
Seems like I was not wrong about sanking this hero.
Dyer's top tower
You
is
stay
under
1k
attack.
gold lead ahead of the enemy mid laner because you push the wave. You're getting the
Dyer's
also
top
farm
tower
to
is
the Ember
about to
Spirit.
take
The
Dyer's
enemy
top
mid
tower
laner, you
has
farm the
fallen.
jungle in the meantime. But that's it. You're still going to be Burrow Strike. You're still going to be on the epicenter. This is the hero that does not scale.
Would you rather see Ash
Anything. No, I would rather see anything other than the sanking on a mid lane.
the leader of the club of 8
Unstoppable!
for skanking as White Line drops?
What did you
You
learn?
know I did.
Thank you. I deserve it.
Skanking mid. Your presence.
FB, that's a full FB.
With the wall, getting the shine, something out of this they'll use the Stampede. They'll probably lose FP here, so that's going to be more dead on the side of Surface Searing Chain that lands on a full Taro as well as Cuckoo. And Cuckoo is going to run down. With BKB and pop out of Dakota, there's nowhere to stop him. They finish
Look
off
at this
high,
attack
but
speed.
the damage on to 23 pushes him all the way back in space. He's trying to get there. Unfortunately, he won't get there. The ball respawn James from Kescu finishes off the Bristle, who will buy back and he'll get a 5. Where his buyback actually does after well.
Still chasing. Io needs to pop the BKB.
23.
Basher on 23, so you can't just DP out. Good chains to lock him down. Electric Sphere, I love this item build on Mikoto this time around. You know, Orb of Corrosion, just deep damage, applies slow, applies minus armor with the Sleight of Fist. Lincoln Sphere, the reduced initial jump, like gives you that like split second that you can react to the BKB possibly. And like Maelstrom, this is the farming item. He's tethered with the IO, so like damage coming out from Maelstrom is also amplified from the overcharge.
So much damage coming out from Makoto as well as Makoto getting close to that level 25. Holding onto a double damage at the moment. Roche is up. What is going to feel like T1's last stand, try to defend the Roche attempt.
This second Roche, so Cheese Ages plus a shard.
Given the shard.
Could be Phoenix. Damage for the chart is also not bad. Fire Remnant deals AoE damage, and you get the charge if you are close to the kill.
To Inferno.
In a Roche they go. T1 not even going to show up.
Radiant scanning for enemy.
Io shard is also not bad. Like tender stun for almost 50 seconds, 1.75.
Lives in a
That
rough
can be
neighborhood.
only applied every 7 seconds. And a bit more movement speed, 10%. So yeah, they gave it to Io.
And my boy Hyde out here trying to do what he can with his supernovas. Could have had Sunray with it, I feel like.
Back in the old days,
Deserving.
Io, like he just stunned people with the tether. I believe it was TI2, TI3 era. Not broken at all, perfectly fine. Just have this AoE stun ability.
So if it's Searing Chains, Cuckoo. Healed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's middle
Go
tower
after the
is
tier 2,
under
then onto the high
pressure.
ground. There's much that T1 can do to stop him from getting the tier 2. See if they can even stop the high ground.
Dire's middle tower.
T1 in this game only managed to take the T1 towers. Makes a lot of sense. Didn't go, yeah, it didn't go for tier 2s at all. Sunray keeping them alive.
Now the Sunray is just keeping them healed and burning for 23. Execute on the run. They've got Stampede into the overgrowth. Okay. They'll strike on the 2 with the turn vision. He's going to look a little bit far back, so that'll allow T1 to just walk away. He's stunned up. He's killed off. He doesn't have 5 active for 70 seconds.
He brought that Aghanim Scepter, went all in, no buyback money. Like, they need his stun. So, without a Seiki, without their ulties, they cannot take this fight. Back.
Alright. Stun bouncing off the lower shore. Whitemon gone. Makoto going for Cuckoo. Surge back into the not looking likely that they can do so.
They're diving at towers.
They're diving. You see the kid on his cue. They're just out of the hands of the effort, so it's starting to turn around here for T1. They don't have many numbers to keep throwing to get these kills.
Dire's
No,
middle
they're throwing. They're throwing their bodies at tier 4 towers for no reason. There's no need to do that, but yeah, a bit of fun. Now FPC decided to buy back as well.
Move up towards top. Go for the tier 3.
Dire's top tower is about to take the power is gone.
to 23 as he tries to stick in their face after he's even blink as well as the sun out onto Zephyr. Zephyr will drop very quickly and high back.
The epicenter is not going to be enough. Aren't outputting the damage that they need with 23 pops of BKB. Running after this team, eventually it'll run out and they'll be out of time.
Christian needs to take it
Dakota's back in.
and they should. Chased by Masiro, Zephyr dies. Next strike, not going to do anything. Jet again, he's got no buyback. Icarus dives over 22 with Spirit hitting Sunray on him, and eventually he burns out. They will call GG, and T1 will drop the first game.
What a performance from Boom. Like, they had a much better draft than this one. T1 did not get a single time. They managed to kill Phoenix in this game, but it was such a good Phoenix game that they were not able to even get it once. Just, yeah, they got outdrafted. I can understand the idea behind what they wanted to do. We play fast, we get this Bristleback online, we try to snowball, get the first Roshan, and then siege the high ground. I don't want to see mid tech. I really do not want to see this hero
That
being
should be
played
the
on a
last
mid
game.
on a mid anymore. Yeah, the hero just doesn't do anything other than the Burrow Strike and Epi.
Yeah, and then he, you know, gets all these items, but more than a couple Burrow Strikes, it really doesn't look good. Hopefully that's the last mid-Sanking game we have to see. Continue to pick it until something changes, but
Probably.
who knows? Break down game number 1. We've got the panel for you. Turn it over to you guys.
I was practicing my backstroke.
Gua kan nggak online pak, nggak bisa.
Kenapa nggak online? Bajakan ya?
Mahal coy.
200.000 pak.
300.000 ya. 300 isinya.
I like how you get the voice lines from the heroes you morph into.
So do you get the voice lines based on the level
Mahal
you're
anjir.
on morph on the heroes you morph into?
I'm not a morph player.
Hah?
I only play good heroes, the heroes that are fun to play. You know, the heroes that are not completely busted for 5 years in a row.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to ask a more player to answer that question. There's probably at least one in chat.
So yeah, his movement speed is 280, so that move speed is bugged.
Wait, it's 280. So it's
280
even
is
less.
starting, yeah, so he gets 45 from power treads, so that gets him to 325. Faded Broach is 20. Yule Scepter also gives 20. So yeah, for some reason it's bugged.
Carry the one. It's 365. On use, Spirit Vessel onto the Centaur. They'll continue to try and jump. They'll get the Cold Snap on him. Hoofstop actually hit the timber as he was timber chaining across, but Zephyr's still dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Spirit Vessel does help to get the kill. KSQ get too far behind at the moment, or can they, like, what are the steps they need to bring this one back?
Like, they need to be able to control this Necro, possibly bait a Reaper's side, because if they can still burst down the Spectre. Like, potentially, if they get a good jump with Lion on Necro, he is burstable with the Finger, with the couple of spells from the Timber Saw. Like, they can bring him down.
Radiant's bottom tower is staggering.
Like a
Someone's lineup wants to get in and out of the fights, like have these Fiery Souls up and running, Necro, getting the max out of the Heartstopper aura, Morphling, like he's the hero that wants to be able to get in and out of the fights.
Tower needs some friends.
Same as you, Tidewalker.
Big item against Timbersaw, the heals, like even against the Invoker. He decided to get Boots of Travel on Invoker, which is pretty surprising. You know, Boots of Travel Midas is super greedy.
Radiant's bottom tower has rung its last bell.
Really know how much the Invoker is going to have impact with minus travel to start. He's doing going to be kidney next. You're going to need a little bit more time to really
Money to burn.
feel like you're outputting.
Throw a line to Radiant's middle tower.
It's sinking.
Bottom, they go towards mid, they'll take a
Just
201.
like your shit.
Right there, I mean, 23, he's the only one hitting
Tower
it.
has
They
fallen.
weren't really doing it.
Rock it on!
Top 3 on the net worth are all cores on T1.
course, it pushes right as I say that to Spectre taking the third spot. This is not a spot you want to be in, though. You are going to see the Invoker bottom of the course. Marcel?
Dire's top
Spotted, he
tower
pops
is
way down.
under
Sector
attack.
with Frank's hitting him. They've also caught the Morphwing and taken on the Aegis.
Still a minute left.
Strike, Meteor, all coming down. Chaotic offering, but he waveforms it. Oh, 23. Away, Timber Chain across. Will and Death hitting on a Cuckoo as well as Carl. Chakra, BKB, top by Carl. Waveform on the back lines and takes out High, just blows him up. Cuckoo gets chased through. Gone. They got Cuckoo there. FPC takes out Cuckoo. They'll look over at 23 to get the second life. They slowed him down with the Spectral Dagger.
The TP away, and there's no
They
way to
got
stop
nothing
it.
to stop it. Timbersaw with a BKB does quite a lot. They have like no abilities that go through Magic Immunity other than the hook shot, and it's just a position 5 block hook, so you don't care too much about it. He wants to get a heart. I want him to get a shard. Like, shard is such a good pickup on the Shiro, especially if you have a BKB, so you can be in their face, which is very annoying. They got the kill on Morphling. There was still like 1 second left. 1 minute left on Aegis. Very burstable if they get the first jump with Lion.
Watch the Chaotic Offering come down, but waveform away. 23, timing it right. Gets out of there. If he has shard here, like he's throwing flamethrower as he's doing all this. See, 23 at least getting something.
It's a lot of damage from that shard, and now it also got a buff, so it works on the buildings. Doesn't deal full damage, but still, I think this is one of the better ones. It's a top tier shard for sure.
I think it was one of the ones that I certainly got before I saw it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Carl
for
gets a
ULSA,
double man
yes.
stun. Just right clicks him down.
Start out with a lot of damage. Cold Staff, BKB forced.
Choose new speed, to travel,
Actual
stacks from
movement
passive actual movement speed, Yule Scepter on top of that. And now going into Silver Edge wants to be able to break Spectre. You can break the Timbersaw, so not too bad of a pickup there. And you can also do this, what he just did. Play this kind of an assassin on the side lane, especially with the Boots of Travel. So Shard done on Vorlock. Unfortunately, he's not level 15 yet. You can also outpush the
Radiant's
lane
top tower is on the
as
rocks.
Vorlock right now if needed.
They're trying to bring down Radiant's top tower.
Shadow Word, which he put all his points in.
Fortification can save them.
Any point
After he
Radiant's top
finished
tower is
4
under
staff,
attack.
they give back
Radiant's
Feli
top
to Lion so he can farm his
just
4 staff.
got
I like
sent
the,
to
you know,
the
this way of thinking, just the sharing. I get this, then
Really
I
tight,
give it to
Hunter.
you, you give me back. No inconsistent whatsoever.
Moves in the air, LSA with Guna Blade on the Spectre. Use that taunt, he's jumping around, just trying to avoid everything. Gets the Spectre dagger off, another shot, sees himself low, to himself fall. That's the second hero that we see go down the line.
Just buying a bit of time. You know, throwing around with that haunt, going in and out. It was close. Like, if Hookshot does not connect, he gets out of that one.
It's now a 7k lead for T1. Roche about to be back up. 10. See, this time can get into the Roche pit.
Radiant's middle tower can't handle this deluge.
Let's see the spawn. Might respawn in 3 seconds.
Radiant's middle tower
Will be a
just
long spawn.
healed
2
over.
minutes 15.
Radiant's courier
Now Morphling has
just
a
drowned in
BKB, so he
pool of
doesn't have to
blood.
care about that Spirit Vessel. Most of the damage is actually magical. So with that BKB, like, Morphling should not die unless they get the first jump with the Lion Hex.
Silver Edge picked up for the, you know, killing this. The last kill on Spectre didn't seem too difficult either. Up, move over towards the triangle of the Dire side. Not towards Roche, which isn't up for a while, so
More fuel
they
for my fire.
giving it away at the moment. Junior's still trying to get to Scotty. And they're going to smoke again. They don't have Haunt to jump in with.
15 seconds. She will be able to join if they find someone. Carl, Silver Edge, Arcane Rune also available for another 25-30 seconds.
Moving over, might be able to kill FBZ if he's not too careful. They're on the high ground waiting for him. I understand that. And where they've been on the map
Dire's
so far.
bottom tower is under attack.
Move forward and LSA comes up with BKB behind my FBZ. Tornado flying away. Sunstrike, that lands right on God. BKB about to run on an FBZ. So how deep can he be?
They go over 23. They've got a chaotic offering. He pops the man. He's got the BKB. He's trying to run away with himself. Trying to chain away. The LSA lands onto the Spectre.
Damage isn't enough. Not great for the moment, but that's going to wear off before they're able to output the damage. They need to get the kill to the Spectre. They're over the Carl, the Timber Chain from FBZ.
They should get
Catching
more
up
out of
to
this.
Carl. Slowed him down. Timber Chain again, sticking with this Lina, but Lina starts to speed up and may get out of the grasp of Boom. Finally, they catch up and lost in the finger from high to get the kill on the Carl. Sunstrike.
Sunstrike. Ooh, he morphed. He morphed. They have no Lina for 70 seconds, no buyback on her. Roshan just respawned. Like, they don't have the Haunt. They do not have a Warlock ulti, no finger, but they should still try to go in and at least force a buyback from Lina, which she doesn't have. But they try to poke it, see what happens. Rocket will scout things out.
We need to have somebody standing where that hook shot might come from.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
So much damage. Desolate, illusions from Spectre.
That's where
Who's gonna
FBZ
block the
needs to
hook shot? Centaur could potentially go in with the force staff. Execute.
Not going to be time to block it, but they pick up the Aegis, and they've got the Earth Spike. Spectre also picked up the Axe, Shard, and Cheese, so everything's secured there for Boom.
Let's see if he decides to use it or if he decides to give it to the Timbersaw. Spectre Shard is okay. Against certain lineups, they're gonna find Zephyr, so this should reveal the board, anti-Tinker board on the high ground. So Spectre still not consuming it. Mikoto already has a shard for himself, so does Warlock. A Lion Shard is good, and he finally consumes it. Yeah, you can cast Dispersion on the hero that damaged you in the last 8 seconds. Like potentially jump on a Clockwork, he uses a rocket on you, and then suddenly you jump him, which is not that bad. This is big, like this is game changer, you know, having the Spectre with Aegis, with the Cheese, so you need to be careful how you're gonna use that Reaper sight. Definitely not the target that you want to focus on right now. Also, I see Necroforce going into Eon Disc. Disc is fine against Lion, can be dispelled by Tornado.
They need to be careful about how they take this now from T1. They're up 3K, but honestly, the game is even, or maybe even sided towards Boom with everything they've got at the moment.
Smoke from Boom. Warlock ulti ready in couple of seconds.
So leading the charge. Fact that T recognize that if he's frontlining like that, he's probably got a team with.
On the back line, did he get the kill immediately out of high? But think who's going to buy that so high? Got the Timber Chain around with the BKB. Pop by 20. He's starting to attack off this site now. So now, Timber Chain forward. FBZ with the World Death on his second. The right is coming out of the Spectre from Carl. He's not going to get down. He's going to drop second. There's no effort call. The Timber Chain as well. The World Death once again with the BKB pop as well. So it's going on the Timber.
Pop the Cheese, they'll stay healthy. Oz and
That's big by Lance, but that actually gets high. But that would be cleared up by 23. At the Earth Spike that gets reflected via Lotus Storm. And now Mikoto, he's gone to 22. FBZ drops triple kill for 23. They go underway, but then got the stun on the Spectre. themselves, starting to run. It's after the strike. Right clicks in. They've got the first strike out of the jam.
They also have the sight, so they can take it down for a very long time. It's not connected.
Strike again. Reaper sight through, and he is killed for 2 minutes. It looks so good for Boom, and then all of a sudden 23 goes to the back lines. All of the reflection of the Earth Spike, and he turns it around, taking out these 3 heroes on Boom.
What a primary fight from T1. They managed the buyback on a Necrofrost, like he instantly uses it. Also Lion bought back in the previous fight, so that's a dieback on him. Boom needs to protect their backlines. Like Morphling understands, great understanding of the game, like what Savage needs to do. He jumps the backlines, takes out the Lion. Also there was a good reflection, as we mentioned, with that Lotus Orb on the Lion's Earth Spike. We're gonna see that again.
Radiant's middle tower can't handle
Like playing on half HP, Morphling with his build is super tanky. He has a BKB, he has Satanic. Satanic is a lot of damage. 55 damage, it's also a dispel, it lasts for 6 seconds, undispellable. So even if you have like a Spirit Vessel on you, you pop that, you dispel it, and then you lifesteal. So new Satanic feels really good.
I picked up more
Radiant's middle barracks are
right now.
They're running full spread. Radiant's bottom barracks. Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen.
His cute. Trouble for a second.
Yeah, Spectre, she's gonna respawn in game number 3, it seems.
The fights are so close that, let's say, even with this lead, I'm not sure that T1 have it in the bag. The fight started with Cuckoo getting blown up. Doesn't have buyback on that one. Obviously, the fight.
Needs to be careful. I believe he bought the full Eon disc. Yeah. Okay, so he will be able to get his items off, most likely. The Lotus, Yule Scepter, possibly even a mech. Daedalus down on Lina, but like Lina right clicks are huge, and she hits level 25, 150 attack range on top of that.
We're Indo leveler. Tier 4s for T1 are Prism right now for Boom.
Lina was thinking about getting a different neutral item, but holding the Paladin sword has a Morbid Mask. She'll also go into Satanic to have like this double life, the life leech against Spectre, against the Timbersaw. You can just stand your ground and take a fight. Invoker with this type of a build, like where's damage coming from? He has 3 meteors, which is okay. Your spells are almost maxed out, but then again, you don't really have the right clicks.
Warlock.
Haste.
Love to see him have max out on the upheaval. On the
It just sounded really disappointing there, like Warlock.
Yeah, I know. It's just we haven't really felt his presence as much. The chaotic offerings haven't been massive.
Yeah, there hasn't been that one. Wow, this rock really split the fight. They won because of it.
Yeah.
No good upheavals. Like, he still deals damage to the Shadow Word. Timeless Relic. Okay, so let's see which one the Invoker decides to keep. Timeless Relic also really good on Lion. Good on Warlock. Like, even Timbersaw, he's holding into Cloak of Flames right now. Flamethrower, where's the Flamethrower?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I really want to see that shard. Worked up pretty soon. Aegis Cheese, potentially an Blessing.
Money to burn.
Shard. Which shard could be pretty big here for Reaper Sight. Double with Luna.
Lina doesn't rely so much on dealing the damage with Laguna. It's more about the right clicks.
Yeah.
I think he would give it to possibly Necro.
Super chain all the way through. Pop BKB. worth it.
Spectre, of course, finds Illusion Escape, because that's just how it is. You do have Spectre, you do have Phantom Lancer. I think there's a code in the game. Someone from Valve coded it and said, like, yeah, it has to be 100% drop rate.
Always feels good.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Spectre.
They see that with the ward, T1 will start to back off. Roche, 37 seconds away.
See, he doesn't have the BKB for 25 seconds. Want to be a little bit more careful than where he's standing forward on. Trying to finish up this all too.
Dire's bottom tower is about to flounder.
Roche up now in 5 seconds. Saw in the last
Fortified
Roche, it was a quick
structures
shot
can't
attempt
be
to try and
breached.
steal everything, but it was
Dire's
picked by the
bottom
Spectre.
tower won't last long.
Lime still holding on to Philly, swapping things in and out. It feels like there's going to be a fight. Swaps in the Timeless Relic, longer duration, X, longer duration stun. Needs to be
Storm
careful.
trying to get him. C23, that's where the attention is. He tried to move in with it. They go on a kiss. You can get the kill immediately out of the wall. He doesn't have time to heal people. Now they're going to pick him out on a 23. Taking out all of it. That was half of it. The Warlock and that means someone could go in a roach. They got a double damage on Carl too, so this is going to be a really quick one.
They can't contest it. It's Refresher. Let's see who decides to pick it up. Wolfen's running out of slots. He could be the one holding it. Refresher still in the pit. Lina picks it up in the end. Just a double BKB feels really good.
Hex on Invoker. This'll...
They're trying to bring down Radiant's top tower.
You buy out if you're expecting to miss the Abyssal, you're behind by
Radiant's
someone.
top tower has fallen.
Dire's
Good
bottom
question.
tower
I think you go all in.
couldn't
I think
withstand the tide.
if you buy back, the fight's kind of already over. So with the Abyssal Blade, I feel like you can do so much more. And you might get the gold in the fight to be able to have a buyback. He needs 800, so if he gets like 2 kills, potentially it's a buyback.
Coming over. Full staff blink. Post op misses. FBZ will survive. A lot of damage down on his Zephyr. And now 23's in a little bit too deep to cut the Abyssal Blade. They'll use the chaotic offering. No more to get the kill onto the Morphling. Dead has
No
Aegis.
shift.
They're going to move in though.
How can they stun him? They can't.
They can't BKB. Ooh,
But the
gets 2
bash is
engines
where the
and
bash is
out.
at.
Oh, they've got the pin! 23's in trouble. Wait for him to try and leave. Morphs into the Timber Saw. Timber chain away, but that's going to be FBZ staying with. Let's see by the stun. Now the Hawk is locked on. Illusion FBZ. They've got themselves a Chaos Meteor down. It doesn't look like enough to kill off 23 just yet. They'll go 38 on a BKB. He's going to be David first. Simon D1. Picking up the Aegis. He just come back in 100 seconds. He has buyback. Going away once again. Waymon trying to run by 30 so they look over at Uku, who uses that shroud. Trying to get out of
Volker's
here.
scouting things
Makoto
out,
with him.
slowing them down.
Ghost Walk slows him up. Find themselves a 10 seconds after the hex. Goes like Timber Chain World. Yes, Spectre Dagger. They get the kill on the Zephyr. Take out 2 of those buybacks used, but they've also got the Aegis out of the hands of T1.
Man, what a throw by 23. He goes in, tries to take out Warlock. Now he's receiving the tips from Zone Team. Yeah, that wasn't too bright. All right. Yeah, like he tries to kill the Warlock in this situation. Like you don't know if Warlock has buyback. At the moment, he
Dire's middle
does.
tower is under attack.
So, yeah, not really worth it. He thought he could have died. He could have potentially died a second time if Lion was
Dire's middle
close
tower
to use
is
any of his
drowning.
abilities, like land the Earth Spike while we were respawning with Aegis. So,
Dire's middle tower just
Try and
got
force these
knocked
buybacks. Wait for him again, but he visibly goes through on the 23, so he stopped for a second with that BKB running out. Dagger with the hex, that's himself deflected. Otissaurus doing some work here, EMP is down, and it's right on top of 23, but no blink. They've got the skills coming back with buyback. They haven't expended any, and they hold the tier 3. Boom.
Back away.
There's no need to rush things, like they didn't force any of the buybacks. Spectre getting closer to level 25, so that's going to be a big one. Working towards MKB, not the item that you want to see on Spectre. But yeah, in this situation, you need to get it. Morphling has that butterfly for a very long time, so you need to be able to pierce through it. Eon Disc done on Invoker, also getting closer to his level 25.
You just use it or together immediately.
He can be blown, like, depends. In certain situations, you might get blown up, but we'll see.
Just puts it together.
Yeah, it's safer. You know, at this point of the game, 45 minutes in, it's just better to leave it this way.
Right. So a long ways until the next road.
But I don't know if we're going to be waiting that long. Cuckoo, he's close to 25.
Still no shot on FBZ.
Still wants that hex. They already have one on the range in the Lion and by the Invoker. We want the constant hexes up.
It's a possibility that they use hex into hex into hex and then back into hex, if you know what I mean. So cooldown
With stop waveform going in on FBZ. Do they have the damage? Forward healed, not looking quite aggressive.
because Lion hex is 4 seconds plus a debuff duration, extra 25, so that's a 5-second hex.
They're going in. Going over this. They've got the chaotic offering. Death over at the center. They get the kill to his Q, so he's going to be taken out of the fight and buyback immediately. They go to the Stampede. They're trying to keep alive Zephyr. Running away from FBZ. Tornado comes through on the hex target. Oh, missing. 23 though. He gets the BKB off. Move over to the side. Reaper side. Oh, Dream of Cell. You're all
135. Like, they just split the fight. Once again, the Savage goes in and takes out the Warlock immediately. Like, buys back. So Spectre will need to buy back here. They cannot hold this without Spectre. Like, the sooner you buy back, the better. But you can't still get anything out of it. Like, you can't go Roshan. You're just gonna lose the barracks if you don't buy back.
Buyback. Tornado comes in. They're gonna try and go for this once again. They know that he doesn't have the BKB. They have the Spectre dagger. They can move that from into the base. They've had the hex. They have the ability. They have the damage. They throw on the 23. The radio's happening. But
Another hex.
the damage.
Where the heck?
There. He does the match in the waveform. Oh.
That was so close. Like, they needed to get that kill.
They look over at Whitemon with such anger because his name is in 23.
They get Whitemon. They got something, but they needed to get a bigger kill. Like, they needed to kill in there. It's a rough one, you know. Maybe they overlap the hexes a little bit because they have 2 right now. Alliance hex lasts for 5 seconds. We're gonna see that one again. Unfortunately for them, he got the shift off.
Tornado's in. EMP.
And a good
Earth
force.
Spike.
Like, they used the force staff to push him in.
Deafening blast. The hex. The force staff. Safe.
Sometimes it's all it takes. They have 2 force staffs, 1 clockwork, 1 on the centaur.
Always buy your support items.
Spectre holding on to gem right now. No, she's running out of items. Like, she needs to be able to give that gem to someone else and just buy out the items, buy that demon edge. Have the MKB still, not that close to it. Tired they're using a scan, but they only found the illusion inside the pit.
Double damage top. Timely. It's in.
23, he does not have Boots of Speed, holding on to Spell Prism, holding on to Leveler, holding on to Ninja Gear. He's just swapping all the items. A lot of status, status resistance from Sanjiasha could make a difference, so not surprised he decided to go as like 6th item.
Yeah, minimum time about.
Just getting the maximum volume out of the neutral items. Like for the fight, Spell Prism is good, lowering the cooldowns. He can also smoke himself and be able to find one of the supports, ideally Warlock, because he does not have buyback at the moment. And if they go for the high ground push, if they go for the buildings, use the Leveler.
So, Spectre picks up the double damage. Roche is a long one. right there, ready to go with a double damage.
23 smokes himself. Smoke. Pop. He's also holding a casual Titan Sliver. You know, maybe I need a bit more status resistance. If I get initiated on, try to swap it in. Could make the difference.
To FBZ. For right there. Minotaur Horn. Blink blow the hoof stomp. Stampede right on the back. Zephyr, you just see him. Like, he's locking eyes with FBZ. Go for the blink as well as the hook stomp. He gets pecked immediately. That's right by Kodo. Lotus Orders as well as the Stampede right on top of this. Invoker, but cops the BKB to wait for him onto the back line. Got the Chaos Offering that hits on the 23. He's also on top with the Meteor coming down. The Devastation right. Oh, there's the shot. There's the kill on the 23, but they've got the buyback. So he's going to have to find his way back in the... He's TPing over to the outpost that's on the lower part of the map. So he's away from the team for quite a long time. That gives the opportunity to lead to go in here. They've got the hex as well as the chopper right on top of the Lena. There's the search fight that gets the something in the kill to Corona Riga. Zephyr doesn't have buyback, but Lena does. They both buy back. They'll go there. They've got the close down to do a lot of damage here, but the Reaper sight not going to do enough damage on the FBC. They'll take out Kuku. He's going to buy back. They've got
Savage, no shift again.
He's got the shift again. He's done with BKB. He will heal back up, and they'll take out Makoto. They'll look over at Keshu. Keshu doesn't have buyback, but Makoto does. He holds it for now. Now Blake uses it as the line uses as well, but FBZ on the front line with the Tutorblade hitting it, and the Silver Edge there to break him. They take out the Timber. No buyback on him.
Oh man, what a fight. If they somehow manage to lock him down there and kill him one more time, now he used the buyback, and I think it would be a different fight if he would put the outpost on the bottom, because he would have nothing to TP to. Radiant is controlling the northern outpost, so can't TP there. He had no boots. He put the what's called the one that smokes you item.
Ninja Gear.
Ninja Gear, yeah, to get some extra movement speed out of it, get closer to the fight. But if they control the bottom outpost, I think this fight is completely different. He doesn't show up, Necro dies, possibly Invoker lives there without having to use the buyback.
Bro is holding on to the Ag's Blessing. Hasn't used it yet. You've also got pressure on Carl, picks up a Wind Waker. That's another way to save 23 again. Hook shot from Lightmon.
I can't wait to see Radiant's top
Use that
barriers
fall
fall.
dagger to weave his way out of that one.
This Wind Waker is big. Like, they initiate on Morphling, who has cages. This is Mega Creeps. So we'll see. You know, if they get a good initiation, you can always save them with that Wind Waker. And now, lives.
Before he was dealing with the fact that he had just bought back from Shard. He's also devoured that of Go to the Glyph, the tier 4s, trying to hold on, and now they've got all 5 heroes. You have Kudo slowing down 23. Trying to run Spectre Dagger as well as the Hex. That's going to be back thanks to the Lotus Orb. They've got the Chakram right on top of 23. He'll waveform away.
Overlapping their abilities. There's a Hex plus a Tornado.
And just for KezQ, doesn't have that Chaotic Offering yet. What's going for Makoto?
This is one way to, you know, if someone is isolated with the Bloodthorn, 2-3 heroes focuses, whoever, like the hero's gonna die. And maybe like a Nullifier also would not be a bad idea on one of the heroes to just able to proc those on this, remove it, dispel it, deal with the Ghost Shroud. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Because they have two of those. They have a Ghost Shroud on top of that. Like, you can dispel the Wind Waker. I think Spectre should change her mind and sell the Power Treads. Possibly get that dispel mechanic buyback in 45 seconds.
Leveler, Ninja Gear, BKB on the backpack, holding onto the Titan Sliver. Talking right on top of 23. The Lotus sword preemptively. Approval slowing them down. Hard to make a move. You see how close the Lina is. The Wind Waker is going to be ready to go. Trying to jump. Dagger throws away on the Kesku. He's been the focus. They don't want to get that chaotic offering. More damage out on FBZ. He's starting to feel it. Moves back into the Spectre. Makoto coming over.
Mega Creep coming in.
Mega Creep starts to invade the base. They've got themselves the Earthspike. That's so they've got the hit. Coming through. That's only going to hit on the FBZ. That doesn't do enough damage. Uses Timber. That can be. Look over it high. High. Already got 100. The right push coming out for 23. It's just not enough. They're the side of Boom. They lose the Timber Zone. Going back immediately. Mega Creep's invading the base. It looks over 23. FBZ in his base. He's come out of the back line. Top by Makoto. He's trying to survive here. 23 big hanging up. They may do it. They got to break out the Spectre, but look at the creeps sticking the base, and they have no way to stop them. The creeps are going to overwhelm them. They may be putting their focus on the 23. They need to stop these creeps. They need to stop the Lina. Ready to finish off the game in T1. Well, sure, he's even out.
Use the hex, force step comes in, like they just
100
needed,
health.
they needed like half a second, maybe a second of extra lockdown to be able to deal with that. And I think that outpost kind of changes the whole game, because if Necro dies there, they could